like rebirth. So somebody said, what evidence you have there's a rebirth? Yes.
I said it, and this is something near and dear to my heart. It's
Yes.
trying to establish Buddhism in the United States.
That's right.
There's essentially no strong evidence for reincarnation.
Yes.
Not only do we need evidence, we need some kind of model.
Yes.
How your consciousness goes from one system to another system, one life to another.
Yes.
And so we can talk about it. We don't necessarily have to talk about it, but I'm very interested, and I'm very appreciative that you pointed out the National Geographic
That's right.
reference. I'll definitely take a look at it.
Yes. I don't know if that National Geographic describes the rebirth, but I mentioned it describes the process of the death.
Okay.
You know, because as you see, also death is such a ambiguous, unclear. You know. So we think it's death to finish. You know, that's it. You know. In the Buddhist, there's a lot of descriptions, one after another, you know, dissolving 4 elements, and what happens when the first element dissolves, and the second, the third, fourth, all this, you know. So I think that describes there. I don't know if it is described the rebirth, but I mentioned that the recollection of this young boy who was born in Texas, that he remembers his previous life, you know. So there is something like that. I don't know if really we can show the evidence, you know, because the mind is such a, as mentioned, is a consciousness, you know. It's not a matter. If there's a matter, you can show the evidence, you know, this exists because it is here, you know. And it is how functions. To look at here, the table, look at the leg, the top, the bottom, all combined together becomes the table. No, one single is not enough to be a table, you know. So this way we can describe. So the previous life is so abstract subject, you know. As I mentioned, even we don't remember this life, the day when we were born, you know. So if you say what evidence you have that you are reborn or at the time of birth, so then you say because you are born this, you can say this, but when it comes to the memory, I don't have memory, you know, at the time of death, I'm born, you know. So like these things, there's a lot of those things that maybe cannot prove right at this moment, but there is some sense, if you have a brother or sister, you are born from one parent, but you all 3 are different characters. So why? No, you have the same gene from your parents, should be the same. Exactly.
No.
So why, you know?
The genes are not the same, but
It's different, you know. Way of thinking, way of behaviors, way of all just different, you know. So the brother and sister, they fight because they're different. So like these things, these are also all unanswered questions, you know. But it's such a big subject. So these are just such very important, you know. Basically, rebirth is not really the Buddhist belief, you know. So when you don't believe rebirth, that not necessarily you can establish the Buddhism in the West, you know. Buddhism is how it helps causality. So if you don't believe rebirth, you cannot practice Buddhism, you know. We cannot say that, you know. That's a kind of very, very narrow mind explaining, you know. Yes.
I'm very fond of Buddhism, I can assure you.
Yes, you know that, you know.
Yeah, if we talk about rebirth,
yes,
we're talking about the relationship of karma in the future.
Yes.
If you lose rebirth, you lose a connection to karma. And when you look at rebirth, there's also an issue of the subtle body.
Yes.
Versus all.
That's right.
And again, that's another area where there's kind of minimalistic at most.
That's right, you see.
So I'm definitely a firm believer.
Yes.
But there's a part of me that would like to see this kind of established.
Yes.
If we could, scientifically.
Yeah, so in that case, you and me same. Because I know some, but I don't know everything. La. So.
Normally, when we talk about the rebirth, and also do you know anything about the Mind and Life Institute?
Yes.
So after 3 years, we used to have a dialogue in His Holiness Palace. And one time, when we were discussing about the same issue regarding the rebirth, and His Holiness, the Dalai Lama, didn't say a single word on it. And some scientists asked him, we are a little bit curious, why? Because on this particular topic, you didn't mention anything. And His Holiness said, there are two things. The things which exist and we don't see, the things which don't exist, we don't see. There's a difference.
Okay.
The things which exist, we don't see, it's kind of like I and the rebirth.
Right.
And over here in the scientists, or in the hall, everyone believes that I'm here in Dharamsala, I'm eating food, I'm in the Dalai Lama. But when we go and look for the I, we can't pinpoint. But it doesn't mean that it doesn't exist.
Right.
So it's a kind of like a rebirth that we can't prove. So in the science, to prove it, either it has to do with the numbers, mathematics, or it has to see by your own naked eyes and experience it. In the Buddhism, the third thing, we add another one called belief.
Right.
So the things like the rebirth, we can't go and show it, it won't come with a microscope. So we have to believe.
Okay.
And it exists, but we don't see it.
I'm a big fan of His Holiness the Dalai Lama. It's his book about the universe in a single atom.
Yeah. That's such a it's very abstract subject, as you see, because consciousness. Even I have my consciousness. So if they ask me what evidence you have that you have a consciousness, then I don't know what to say because I fail. Any other questions? Yes.
This is a simpler question, but and I'm just learning.
Yes.
But we have a small prayer
Yes.
for immeasurables.
Yes.
And I'm wondering if you'd be willing to briefly describe the four immeasurables.
Well, yes, that's I'm going to today, tomorrow. You know.
Okay.
Yeah. See. And those are yes. Other than that, from this morning, if you have any questions, yeah, or some other generals, yes.
Is Buddhahood the same as enlightenment?
Yes.
Well, how can they say that that there's been 3 Buddhas of this degenerative age when I thought that there's many masters have become enlightened?
Yes.
So why do they say that Shakyamuni was like the 3rd Buddha of?
Yes, fourth Buddha of this.
Yeah.
This is called historical Buddha, and not historical Buddha, unrecorded Buddha. You know, there are so many Buddhas which are not historical. In other words, like in Shakyamuni's teaching, this, which is as mentioned, 2,600 years. So, how many were attend Buddhahood? There are so many. Just for example, like clearly that in the world, just like Milarepa, he attend Buddhahood. There's no question about that. but we don't call Milarepa was a fourth or fifth or sixth, So like that, there are so many who attend to Buddhahood. But many of them, they won't say, I am Buddha. They keep quiet. They don't make big noise. Those who are not enlightened, they maybe make more noise. So there's so many Buddhas.
Well, like my Christian family said to them, I think Jesus was a Buddha.
Yes, like that.
I think Mother Teresa was a Buddha.
That's right.
I think Gandhi was a Buddha.
Maybe.
Like none of us were Buddha.
We cannot say they are not, So there's one called seven lamp prayer, said in smallest dust particle contains in that dust particle contains the countless Buddhas, Bodhisattvas. The dust particle is not bigger, and Buddhas are not smaller. It's unimaginable. It's beyond our ordinary mind's concept. This is demonstrated by, if you have read Milarepa's life story, one time he was walking with his disciple Rinpoche on the road, and Milarepa said, there's a yak horn. Yak horn is like buffalo's horn, Can you bring this? Rinpoche thought, so what he's talking about. Sometimes he doesn't need anything, not even clothes, food, doesn't have it. But then here's a yak horn. What you can do with the yak horns, You can't eat, you can't wear, what is useful, So Rinpoche was reluctant, to take the yak horns. Milarepa said, who knows when we need it, So he picked up and walked. And they arrived in such a plain place. There's no anything, just nothing but plain. No tree, no caves, nothing. Suddenly, it's a hailstorm, manifested. And it was so strong. The Rinpoche was now desperate to find a place. And at that time, Milarepa was inside the yak horn. So he was thinking, so down here we need it, He said, so come in, Since Rinpoche was so desperate, he tried to get in. He saw Milarepa was just inside the yak horn. The horn was not bigger. Milarepa was not smaller. Very spaciously, he's just staying there, So Rinpoche, since he was very desperate, he tried to get in. Even his hand doesn't go in, So see, all this, you think this is magical. It's not magical. We are the one who shows the magic. The emptiness we make concrete, was so magical. They realize as it is. Everything's illusory nature. When we practice, and the reality nature is like that, So what I was talking about the Buddha, there's so many Buddhas. Yes, your question.
Yes, I'm newer to Buddhism.
Okay.
And I read a description of how in Buddhism there's no belief in a soul. So rather than So they described the reincarnation process,
Yes.
the birth process,
Yes.
as rather than a thread going through a string of pearls,
Yes.
like dice stacked supporting one another. But I'm curious, what then is that connecting? What is it that's supporting each life? If I'm being raised Catholic, I think of the soul, whereas I'm a body worker, so I think of the soul and the spirit.
Yes.
So I'm curious what that is if there's no belief of the soul in Buddhism.
This is not just a belief system. When we say the soul or self, first you investigate our whole system of the body. It's called, there are 5 aggregates: the form, feeling, perception, mental formation, and consciousness. So consciousness, you first say, there's eye consciousness, ear consciousness, and then they're called mental consciousness. And from there, there's the mental formations, the mental activities. They create the cause, which is called karma, creating, There's many mental activities, so mental formations. Then there's called perception. You perceive things, the different colors, different sizes, all this. Then there's a feeling. Say, I feel good, I feel not good, I like this, I don't like this, those. So then the form, that what we see, what we see, the composition of the 4 elements and the 4, what we call, the 4 products of the elements, So combination of all this together, say, I'm here, this is me, that's we identify. So it's the constitution of the many factors. Many factors come together and constitute this. Say, now, I'm here. So if you dismantle this through the analysis, deconstruct this way, you don't find one independent entity. See? So that's very obvious, clear. So as long as when these combined coexist, then continue one after another, you see. Like as you say, you're a body worker. So how much you advise to the individual people, what you need this, what you don't need this. It's also not just one person, it's different individual. All are not just same. Individuals, what fits, is so different. Some need more earth element, some need water elements, some need fire elements. The body, you see. As well as the mind, you see. This is continuous because it is one after another. See, there's a cause. That's called, as mentioned this morning, interdependent, interconnected. So, because of that reason, there's no one independent self exists. It's not that Buddhists don't believe that something exists. There's nothing exists to be believed. Make sense? Yet all this, the corporation of this, all the causes and conditions that we cannot ignore, because there is a suffering, there is a happiness, and then we work hard to create such environment of the happiness, we work hard to get rid of the suffering. Because sometimes we fail because we don't know what really the cause. See, sometimes we make mistake also. By making mistake, instead of we achieve happiness, we create more chaos. So like this, you see. So it's all the continuation of the coexistence of the causes and conditions, you see, life after life. Isn't this our mind? Look at our mind. Just this morning I was talking about loving kindness, compassion, and the mental delusions, you know. As soon as this comes manifest like anger, you see very clearly there's no peace. So that cause that brings it creating the cause for the suffering. No, but we don't aware that. No. Now when we study these teachings, analyze, get understand, they say, oh, yes, that's right. As soon as when you cultivate loving kindness, compassion, there you can see the peace. So that when you need to continue your desire for peace and happiness, you have to engage with the cause for that. Make sense? So this is function of all the causality. That's why everything is estimation, is illusion. We are not making illusion, something is real, rather how they function within the illusory nature. Like say scarecrow. You know scarecrow? Mm-hmm. From distance, as soon as when you perceive this scarecrow as a person, you are afraid. Oh, there's somebody's there, you know. But then as soon as when you know it's a scarecrow, then you relax. There's nothing to scare about it. So if we know, oh, this is a illusory nature, then we will not make a big deal. So take it easy. No. If there's something independent, soul like this, then we cannot change it because it is independent. If it is happy, it should be always happy because it's independent. If it is suffering, it's always suffering. We cannot change it. See, since everything's conditional, so in the samsara, our happiness, our suffering is so kind of changing, you know, every moment. Yes, Shelley.
What do we do when the scarecrow turns out to be ISIS? Or ISIS, Islamic State.
ISIS.
Or a politician who wants to become president who encourages people to hate. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what I mean, you see. That's why it's a causes condition, you see. Oh, so much depends on the causes and condition. That's why we all, first of all, individually, we have our own responsibility, how to take care of ourselves. And then we need the kind of awareness, wisdom to know about these things, see. Now there's a story. Should I tell you? Said there was a king in a country,
And then there's a astrologer. The astrologers calculate the star, these things, So the astrologer predicted, say, in some months or next year or something, they will have a rainfall. That rain will be what do you call poisonous rain? What do you call that? Acid rain. And then anybody who drinks water from that rain, then people will become crazy. So the astrologer advised all the people in the country they should save the water as much as they can. For some time, Then all people worked hard, they collect the water as much as they can. Then when the time came, and then the rainfall, and people are just drinking water what they saved for, as much as they can. Then after some time, they could not collect so much water, before it was finished, So that people, when there's no water, no one can survive, Then they started drinking the regular water. And everyone now slowly become crazy. Then the king of that country, he collected enough water for a long time. So he was good. He says, he has enough water that he for drink, or for use for his. So at the end, all the country people were crazy. Only the king. And all people said, this king is crazy. So then what the king can do, They started protesting the king, you are crazy. You don't stay in the kingdom, get out of here. Then the king had no choice, so he drank the same water. So in the samsara, Yes.
Going back to the subject of rebirth, in one sense, isn't rebirth only connected to unenlightened people that still believe in I? Isn't rebirth an illusion itself?
Yes.
And wouldn't somebody that has gone beyond that dualistic mind realize that rebirth itself is an illusion?
Yes, as I mentioned, the consciousness is continuous. Because of the, as I mentioned, depends on the causes and conditions. The consciousness, goes, just continues according to the causes and conditions. So that's why human beings are not so to say, the words. In other words, human beings can be reborn as an animal when there's a causes conditions. See, can born any life. If it is permanent, if it is guaranteed that we human beings should be reborn as a human being all the time, that's the not case. Because of the causes and conditions, that so that's the responsible. The responsibilities that we individually have that. So that's why we have all these choices. First we study, understand, and practice, and then we make choice ourselves. Does it make sense? Maybe not so clear. Yes.
Just a semantics question. So when I meditate, or when somebody's meditating, and you get to a place where calm abiding,
Yes.
very few thoughts or no thoughts,
Yes.
are you touching Buddha nature?
Yeah, close. Maybe not really touched, or possible.
Practicing Buddha nature?
Yeah, just practicing Buddha nature is you need, as I mentioned, it's called equipoise state of the mind, one-pointed, and there's a called samadhi. There's four stages in the form wall samadhi, with such kind of support. On the basis of that support, then we need to have the critical insight. See, so that the critical insight that allows to penetrate reality nature as it is. So to kindle that critical insight, we need the equipoise as a support. See, when these are synchronized, and then that you see the reality nature, unfabricated. So that is the Buddha nature. You see. So Buddha nature is undiluted reality nature. No, right from the beginning, its nature is unfabricated. It's called primordially free from suffering. No, see. So we have that nature. So we need now our own will and these causes and conditions. See, yeah. Any other questions? No?
I have one.
You have one? Okay, go ahead.
Buddha Shakyamuni said that we are in a degenerative age.
Okay.
And I was wondering, and it seemed sort of like that.
It seems like that?
Yeah. But I was wondering if he said when it was going to end.
No, there's no end.
No end to the degenerative?
No. I'm saying there's no end generally.
There's no what?
There's no end generally. So there's in the Shantideva's text in the prayer, as long as the space remains, as long as the sentient beings endure, may I remain and be service of all sentient beings. Degenerate or not degenerate, generally of course there's individual and there's collective. Individual, it depends on ourselves. There's nothing look to others. Look at your mind, how your mind is degenerated or not generated. See, we individuals have the every opportunity not to degenerate ourselves. That's why this teaching this morning we're talking about, you see, to free from degeneration. No. So the karma is not something thrown from outside somewhere else. Sometimes we think karma is like a creator, you know. Oh, someone has a karma, you know. So it's my karma, something that somebody throw my karma on me, you know. Karma is every instant, every moment. We're creating karma. Every second. See, karma is action. So we are putting action physically, mentally, verbally. Every moment. See. That's this morning, all what I'm talking about is about this. See. As soon as when you have this kind of decent mind, understanding all the functioning of the causality, and then if we make effort, just every second, aware of this, and maintain these positive thoughts, we are well off, not so much degenerated. So that's why that's what's called practicing Dharma teachings. If it is designed to degenerate, say not degenerate, it's designed that way, why we should practice? It's designed that way, it doesn't help. Everything is impermanent, first of all, can change. Nothing is permanent, as you see. There's no any entities that which exist without now being changing. Everything is constituted in the nature of the impermanence. Look at, see. That changing takes place according to the cause that we created. So first look at the impermanent. Here in this verse, you look at can you read the first line in this? No. There's the small booklet. Yeah, can you read the first line? Yeah, all the composite phenomena
are impermanent like water.
You see, that's one. Yeah, that one. First. Yeah, first look at that. All the composite phenomena are impermanent. So like water bubbles. So how fragile the water bubble is. Look at the example of the water bubble. We may not see this as like water bubble, but we should see everything is like a water bubble. Even the hard rocks are changing. That is also the modern science. Scientists, through their experiment, they saw even the very rocky mountain looks like very hard, changing every moment. So we're changing. Look at our mind, how much changing. That changing takes place according to the cause that we have created. As soon as there's some sense of love and compassion, that moment there's a peace, happiness, you see. As soon as there's some negative thoughts, there's a suffering. That's what's changing, you see. That means it doesn't have some independent entity. So rebirth, like we're talking about, is according to these causalities when we talked about, discuss about, and then investigate, say, our next life is possible of anything, even a small bugs, or any birds, or back to human being. Everything is possible. Even now, see, everything is possible, you see. That's what we're now trying to understand what that really is about. So we are the responsible our own life. What we're making, So see this, then we should appreciate, rejoice. Yes, I can do. I am my own master. To be stay in the samsara or to attain enlightenment. I am my own master, whether I want to be degenerated or positive progress. See. Okay. Any questions now? Yes.
So you were saying yesterday, I believe, about if contemplation, or you study so as to have something occur or to practice. But if you just sit and reflect on your day-to-day, does it still unfold? But the scholarship or the learning will give you like more of a frame, so as to see what is actually happening to you. So you can like see it come and go and see how it comes into being, rather than just it being like a big building or like something to reflect on. Like learning, does learning do that?
Yeah, learning, practicing.
Learning
and practicing. You see.
But without the learning, or with a little bit of learning, just the practicing on a...
Yeah, whatever you learn, then you practice that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, whether you learn a little bit or more, depends, And then, yeah. Oh. Like that, see, you're practicing what you learned. It's way back. I was talking with there's a lot of comparations, and one audience person, he says he reflected, me. He said, walk your talk. First I said, what does that mean, Then I said, this is what I said. Now you explain. Somebody said, okay. It kind of made me it's embarrassing myself, I'm just showing big mouth, So here what it says, what we understood is practicing that, So walking and talking and walking need together, So practicing what you studied, what you learn. Then as I mentioned, there we get the benefit. See? The real benefit we get from the practice. Intellectually gives you some comfort. Oh, yes, that's right, this makes sense. Oh, yes, wonderful, it's great, like this, But then when the critical point happens, then the pain is so real in your heart, and other things is so intellectual, in the space, so not so much at the present, So to get is the practice. So that's like at the time of Buddha, so many achieved arhats because they practice, you see. Okay. And now here, next here said, engagement in virtue, action, bodhicitta. So this morning, we talked about the bodhicitta, out of love and compassion, then cultivate bodhicitta to attain Buddhahood for the benefit of all sentient beings. So now I say cultivated bodhicitta. So having cultivated bodhicitta doesn't mean you have become Buddha. So it doesn't mean you are free from samsara. It's just beginning. You started. Now what to do? So put action. That's why, as I was talking about, walk, like this, So here, thus until I achieve Buddhahood, I perform virtuous deeds with body, speech, mind. So until I become Buddha or until I achieve enlightenment. So that, whatever that means, in one lifetime, 100 lifetime, thousands of lifetime, whatever that means, So until I become Buddha, so I engage my body, speech, mind. See? So that's until death I perform virtuous deed with body, speech, mind. From now until this time tomorrow I perform virtuous deed with body, speech, mind. So after the first generating aspiration bodhicitta, we then focus on cultivating that mind and following the path to its perfections. Now we have to perfect that what we have cultivated. Make our mind more flexible. Our mind is so unruly, so wild, difficult to control, difficult to become flexible. When some negative thoughts comes in the mind, just takes away our all attention to that direction. If you know it's not right, but still, it's unyielding. See, so that's it here. With this prayer, we commit to engage in action bodhicitta with our body, speech, and mind from now until we achieve Buddhahood. Slowly and gently, we need to change our negative thoughts into new habits. See? So this study, practice is called deconstructing the samsaric dimension and then building the construction for the enlightenment. See? Changing our habit from the cause of suffering to the cause for the peace and happiness. So we can do it. No. So all those practices are such a joyful practice. See? So this is the way how to free from suffering, how to achieve peace and happiness. Like for example, here in the summer, midst of such a hot, over 100 degrees, just burning, like a 1 hour, 2 hour distance, there's such a breeze, lake, water running there. From here to walk or to drive on the way, it's not easy. Hot, humid, but you drive so happily because any time to get there, there's a way how to free from this. So it's a practice of joyful. See. So I'm so happy. There's a way how to get out of this. So it is a joyous path, method. We are not making it, but that is how it is. When you look at the life stories of great masters, though they put the energy so joyfully, happily, when you read the life story of Milarepa, looks very awful. He has no food, no shelter, no, clothes to us. Why he is doing this? Why he is suffering so much? But he was doing it so joyfully. When you look at his appearance, it's really very sad. One instance, Milarepa left his mother a long time ago, and then he met Marpa, received all the teachings. Then he went to the retreat in the cave where there's nobody's there. He was eating just nettles. Even nettles are not so much available there. So his body turned into just a skeleton. No flesh there. And green. So then his sister heard of Milarepa somewhere in the mountain. She was beggar. So she went round house to house and collected some food, and then went to see his brother, her brother. And it was daytime, and then his sister saw him from distance. It's like a ghost, And she heard of that, so then first she hesitated. Then how in the daytime there shouldn't be any ghost, So then she went closer, then recognized, and she was desperate, crying. How this now world, you and we, are the worst people in the world that exist. There are so many great teachers I saw, she said. Everyone sits on the high throne. A lot of people follow, making offerings. So joyful. And you are here, starving to death. What kind of Dharma practice you are doing? There's no any benefit for you, for me, anybody. Milarepa said, I understand your point. So don't attach to the samsara. To repay the kindness of all sentient beings, mother sentient beings, I'm here in the retreat. When anybody sees this, their heart is breaking or broken. When anybody sees my food, it's disgusting, worse than dog food. Even the enemy sees my body, they will have empathy. Tears will build in their eyes. When sister sees me, it's embarrassing. But if Buddha sees me, Buddha will be delighted. See, he has that kind of confidence. His mind is full of wisdom, compassion, and he enjoys that. Nothing worldly materials gives him comfort except the Dharma. He said, if we continue this way, the enlightenment is there, Buddhahood. And that's the beginning of our total peace and happiness. So please, he said, please forbearance, this condition. Continue the Dharma practice. See, he sustained his life in the mountain because he's always there's a privilege for him, feeling of grateful. Sometimes the hunters encounter him and saw such kind of traffic, so it's called lifestyle. And the hunter says, oh, looks like you made a mistake staying here. No, we haven't seen anybody like you. Maybe you haven't understood how to live your life. And he says, don't talk about that. I have the precious human life. And I met such a great master like Marpa, who gave me teachings to attain Buddhahood in single lifetime. I am the supreme human being. No, he has that kind of courage, confidence. So we see how Dharma is precious. So read these life stories of those great teachers. Even though we cannot do, if we try, we can do, but we're not doing, But still we get some benefits, comfort, support. By hearing these teachings, it just gives us such in the mind, some peace. It's called action, putting the action on the path joyfully. So to reduce our cause of suffering. See, this is to change the inveterate propensity. It's not that easy. Like see, we have paper this folded like this. If you stretch, it's got stretch. If you release, then it go back because it's folded so long time. So this is our habit. So look at this, and then we continue. Practice joyfully, happily. Make sense? Do you agree? If you don't agree, please tell, So I'm happy to discuss, So it's a really joyful practice.
The question?
Yes.
About Chitta? What you're describing there in the story is like action.
That's right. That's right. Action bodhicitta. Yes. So you do whatever you can. You see what I'm saying is, there are some individuals like Milarepa who did what he could, and we do what we can. See, everybody has an opportunity. See, everybody has a possibility. I'm not saying that you should do this. If you cannot do this, you cannot. There's no possibility. I'm not saying that. But Milarepa, who did that way, he got the benefit from that, and we should do what we can, and we can get that benefit. See, everybody has our own ability, opportunity, possibilities there. That this way we can, first of all, when we could change, when we get the benefit, we are starting how to contribute into society. See, we should not think I'm not doing anything. So because our bodhicitta, the mind, is connected to all universe. Wherever you are, in your room, practicing bodhicitta, that itself is a contribution to all society. Again, comes back to Milarepa life, In his life, he was always in the mountain, One time he thought, now I achieve certain realization. Maybe I go to the society and then benefit. And immediately Marba came. You stay in the mountain. Be strict in the mountain. That is the way how to help the sentient beings. That's the way how to help the society. So as Marba advised, all his life until he died, he's always in the mountain. Yes.
So that example is of great interest to me.
Yes.
Because how are we to know the voice of our own inner marpa?
Yes. How we know?
How do we know how to discern the voice of our own inner marpa from those habitual patterns that are totally ego-based?
Yes, ego-based,
look good because they benefit people.
Yes. So that's you continue this mission. You just continue where you are. As this morning I mentioned, we practice Dharma from where we are. We don't have to be something different. So I'm just a good Dharma practitioner, dress something different, your hair is a little bit changed. So I'm something, no need to that. It's just your mind is your master. After you study Dharma, look at the books, you understood. Now the book is inside your mind. Your inner mind is your book. Then you just witness that, whether I'm doing right or wrong. and then just navigate your mind according to the Dharma. That's called practice. So here what I'm reading, see, talked into new habit. This requires a process of mindfulness and discipline. Sitting in meditation for 1 hour does not constitute discipline. Rather, we must apply a continuous and steady effort to avoid actions such as the 10 non-virtues. I think everybody knows what are the 10 non-virtues. 10 virtues. First, I'll read this. Physically taking another's life, stealing the property of others, sexual misconduct or harassment, or becoming intoxicated with alcohol or drugs. These are physical non-virtue to be avoided. Verbally lying, engaging in divisive speech, harsh words, or senseless speech. Mentally coveting, holding malice or harsh thought, or having a wrong view of causality or the ultimate meaning. So this is called 10 non-virtues. We must consistently engage in the practices of the pure love and compassion based on wisdom, reason, and bodhicitta, the mind of enlightenment. In order to perfect the practice of bodhicitta, it is indispensable that we pursue the 6 perfection: generosity, moral ethics, forbearance, joyous effort, meditative absorption, and wisdom, to bring benefit to oneself and all the sentient beings in samsara. We put this into practice by deeply and sincerely committing to follow the path until full Buddhahood is achieved on the basis of these 10 virtues. Reversing or avoiding these 10, first of all, these 10 non-virtues. First is 10 non-virtues is nothing to the Buddhist. Anybody in the world who engages any of the 10 non-virtues is cause of suffering. Like harming others' lives, stealing. Nobody appreciates. See, stealing, harming others' life, sexual harassment. Nobody will trust that. Even who have no religion. See, using harsh words, dividing friends, groups. Look at, see, it's not a Buddhism. It's the reality check. So who in the evidence or avoiding these 10 non-virtues becomes is 10 virtues. So if anybody who is acting or live their life in all these 10 virtues, regardless your religion, what you believe, or even without religion, people appreciate, people trust you. See, even in the mundane level, so all the Buddha's teachings are according to that. When Buddha says, don't do this, this means it becomes a cause of suffering. doesn't mean say, making some special discipline to control you. No. So Buddha said, avoid the 10 non-virtues. These are the 10 non-virtues. So we say Buddhism is not a Buddhism. It's the reality. When Buddha says practice the 10 virtues or engage the 10 virtues, means it's good for us, good for any individuals. So 10 virtues and 10 non-virtues, we can say a universal constitution. Making sense? So we have to have that kind of way to communicate, you see. Somebody says, this is a Buddhist way, this is non-Buddhist ways. If that way, it becomes a limit. No. Love and compassion is not only religion. We all sentient beings live with, survive and live with love and compassion. Like a family, look at the mother, not only human beings, animals. Look at the deer when she gives birth, her offspring, how she cares, her cub. If she doesn't care, her cub, so offspring, give the milk to her offspring, the calf will not survive. There's something, you see, universal way. So that's our capital. From there, we extend our thoughts to all others, you see. We're not learning something new. The refreshing where we are, what we are doing, what we need. See. Look at the whole society, you know. If everybody practices the 10 virtues, doesn't matter what religion they believe, even though don't believe in a religion, the society is well off. Peace, harmony. See, that's the foundation for our enlightenment. There's not something new to understand, to practice. So look at this, you see. Then there we learn how to promote, how to practice, deepen understanding the causality. We can sit in our own corner of the house, just meditate on this, appreciate the 10 virtues, and understand how to avoid the 10 non-virtues, and then practice love and compassion there. So your nirvana is in the corner of your house. You know. Anybody went to Buddha Gaya in here? You went. Bodh Gaya. You haven't been. Oh, so okay, then doesn't matter. You went here, okay, doesn't matter. No. Bodh Gaya is where Buddha attained enlightenment. See, the place where Buddha attained enlightenment. If you go now, it's such a holy place. Say, all Buddhists all over the world, or non-Buddhists as well, visit that. But if our mind is not enlightened, it's just a dusty, full of dust. There are a lot of beggars there. Oh. So when you're in your corner of the house, you just meditate there, practice that. That's the pure land, and that's the nirvana, Make sense? Look at this, so meditate, see. Oh, that really gives some kind of wisdom. I must practice this. So it is not a degeneration. It's not a degenerated time, Says what is said here. To bring benefit to ourselves and all sentient beings in samsara, we put this into practice by deeply and sincerely committing to follow the path until full Buddhahood is achieved. This may come in one lifetime, or it may take many lifetimes. So we say until I achieve Buddhahood. Whenever that may be, this is an immense project, and we must use all our physical, mental, and verbal resources. We must channel all our energy into performing virtuous deeds with our body, speech, and mind until our goal is achieved. So Buddhahood is this estimation is our objective goal. It's such a precious, really, So I was looking Buddhism for a long time, reading many books. So now today I found my goal, to establish my objective goal. I'm so happy. See, I used to sit, I used to chant mantra, but have not much idea. Now I found it. You see, toward that direction, now I practice wholeheartedly, physically, mentally, verbally. See. When we're in that kind of state, when your mind is staying in the 10 virtues, avoiding the 10 non-virtues, anywhere you go, you feel comfortable. There's nothing to fear about. It's a practice of fearlessness. So it is how to free from the fear. Then especially practice of loving kindness, compassion, you practice that. Anywhere, everywhere. You feel so peace. The peace is just there. What we need is mindfulness on this. Just aware, bring the mindfulness. Anywhere you go, in your office, supermarket, in the airport, everybody's become so busy. So they're all looking for some sense of happiness, peace. Everyone is making effort to free from suffering. See, some people, they're going for job, work. Some people, they're going to meet their families, friends, vacations. No. So see this. And if I read the next one, until death I perform religious deed with body, speech, and mind. This line recognizes that we have the precious human life that constitute a rare chance to study and practice Dharma, and is also an opportunity to attain complete enlightenment. A precious human life is the basis for enlightenment. And it is because of this that we have the opportunity to purify all the obscurations that cause suffering, cultivate bodhicitta, and actualize the perfect qualities of mind. We must not waste it, but rather must use it in the best way until we die. See? Now, the precious human life, there are many books that describes this, What is said, what is saying is that, see, like now, as we know, there's animals and human being. In the animal realm, there are so many different types of animals. Sometimes people, some individuals who are expert in the animal, they say this animal has a human brain. It's very smart. But still, that very smart animal bring in front of you. So you are in the samsara. No, you make effort to free from samsara. Okay, that animal has no idea what you're talking about. So you must cultivate bodhicitta. Like you're a very smart dog. Sometimes you say, oh, my dog understands this, And you talk with your dog. So the dog will wave the tail, What kind of, he's going to give a bone, a piece of bone. But the human intelligence has the power, you see, to cultivate bodhicitta. Has the ability, opportunity to purify all the obscurations if you utilize. So there's I have this precious human life. I must make effort. This was a recognition. So you recognize the opportunity. How much ability you have, how much opportunity you have. Appreciate, rejoice. Get out of this all depression. Sometimes you are so depressed unnecessarily, So Dharma teaching is a special method to inspire us, to encourage us. Everything is possible. That's called within the 6 realms. So precious human life is the best basis to study, practice the Dharma. Quality of mind, we must not waste it, but rather we must use it in the best way until we die. When we practice these teachings, our body, speech, and mind will develop virtuous qualities. There are so many things in the world that we could do, but revealing the inner qualities of the mind is the highest achievement, because it is the ultimate solution for all the problems, both now and in the future. In order to accomplish this, we must put all our time and effort towards that goal. We must develop the necessary mental qualities and depth of mind that our precious human life makes possible. However, whether we take advantage of this precious opportunity is our own individual's choice. Shall we make a short break? Banza sato samaya manobalaya banza sato tenoba tisra dedo membawa sodo kayo membawa subo kayo membawa anorado membawa sarvaside me prayaza sarva karma suda me sedana shreya koro hung ha ha hom sarva tatangata banza mame munza barzembawa ma samaya sato Thank you. Please excuse me. Yeah. Sato Samaya, Mano Balaya, Bazra Sato Tenoba, Testa Detro Mebawa, Soto Kayo Mebawa, Sobo Kayo Mebawa, Anorato Mebawa, Sarwa Side Mebra, Sarwa Karma Suzame, Jatana Shriya Guru, Hongo Ha Ha Ha, Bhagawana Sarwa Tatang. Bandra Mame Monza Banze Bawa Ma Samaya Sato. Yeah, do you have any questions? Yes.
Oh, just a comment.
Okay, yeah, make a comment. That's good.
Yeah. You know, sometimes I have a practice group, you know,
yes,
the country.
Yes.
We use the 10 Buddhist virtues and non-virtues.
Okay.
And we tell this to everybody, not Buddhist.
That's right.
Just everybody enjoys it.
That's exactly.
And, Christian ones can find the 10 Commandments in there.
Yes, exactly.
Jewish ones find it.
Yeah.
It's universally accepted.
Yeah.
And for those people who are not too sure, I just say, oh, it's our code of ethics.
Yes.
Code of ethics.
Yes.
Just follow this and you don't go to jail.
That's right. Exactly. That's the point, really, you know. If you keep the 10 virtues relaxed there, you know, you are just well off. Anybody, anywhere, they will see you as a decent person, you know. Yeah. You don't have to say this is a Buddhist. So this is a source of peace, harmony. Oh. Then shall we continue? Now next here, the line from now until this time tomorrow, I perform virtuous deed with body, speech, and mind. Mind brings to mind the need to begin now. So this is what it said. So saying is that we have to practice in 24 hours. Start today, not wait. So instead of postponing Dharma practice, consider that right now your health is good. You understand the difference between the virtue and non-virtue. You have taken refuge and cultivated bodhicitta. Therefore, start meditation practice today. Within next 24 hours, make every effort to enhance your bodhicitta and work on purifying all your limitations. See? That's how we can progress, develop. No. If we postpone, then there's no possibility of our practice or to progress, develop. No. By waiting doesn't help us to free from all our delusions. We should repeat this prayer every day to remind ourselves to practice more and more, to continue developing and to make steady progress. When we read the life of Milarepa, we can see how much he sacrificed once he realized the rare opportunity granted to him. After studying the Dharma, he knew he could not waste 1 minute of his life in anything except practicing the teachings. Any time we waste cannot be regained, no matter how hard we try. Our human life is priceless, and for this reason, we must not waste the opportunity. Who knows when the death will come? The Buddha said, we don't know which will come first, tomorrow or our next life. So we should all prepare for our next life and not just for tomorrow. So in permanence, especially experience of death, it's not to scare us. Sometimes people think, it gives me unpleasant. It scares me, I don't want to listen, for the time being. Let me have some good time. It just destroys my life, thinking about this, the fear of the death, Actually, it's not to fear, to make you fear, but to how to prepare. So this is very important to have that kind of our understanding, how to prepare. When we are incapable of doing anything, if there's a Dharma, especially if you have realized everything is illusion, then even though there physically there's limitation, but mentally you have such great joy, peace. First of all, you fully accept them. So this is what we all go through. Yet, how the mind makes the difference. That's why from now on, purify all our mental confusions. See everything as mental reflection. Everything is relative nature. Everything functions just a manifestation. So, the great Einstein, he was such a great scientist, isn't it? We call him what? The father of the science. Is that right? Oh, not necessarily. Anyhow, he found the theory of the relativity. Everything's relative. Time is relative. So here we are talking about just how to see things as they are. It's like nature of emptiness. As well as mentioned, we are not making emptiness. So just according to the relativity, that theory. What would you say, this table is long or short?
Yes.
Depends on your perception.
So if the table is long, says it is long, it's real, If it's real long, then it should stay long, because it's real. Because it's really, a table is long. See, if you say this is a long table, then it's a longer. this size, then what would you say? This table is short, isn't it? So it's no longer, it's long. Now if you say, this is short, now compared to this, it's long. See, now look at this, you see. The table is neither long nor short. It's empty of long, it's empty of short. See, so we're not making table is empty. It's empty by nature. So our fixation to this table is long. Then when there comes longer, that being you're attached to the table is being long, when it's become short, we lost our attachment to this. If we say it's a short, then there comes shorter, this long. So we lost our attachment to this being long and short, you see. That's what's called emptiness. See? When there's a good, say, oh, this is really good. And if there's a little better, the good is no longer good, it's bad. There's a better. See? When there's a bad, and if they then say this is bad, then there's a worse. So the bad is better, bad is good. The worse is bad. No? So see, it's all relative. So by understanding this way, it helps us to release our ignorance. See. So by releasing this ignorance, then the attachment to this, the aversion to this, is diminishes. So we have to, this is the theory, first of all, Now we have to apply for the practice, see, how to reduce our mental delusion, connection to this. So then say, oh yes, everything's in that nature. Nothing is different from this. So on the basis of that wisdom we have, which allow us to reduce all our mental afflictions, and those who don't know this in the world, their fixated mind brings them such great suffering. And then we have every reason to cultivate compassion. They desire for peace and happiness, but they don't know how to do that. So look at this, Well, we're establishing the Buddhist philosophy, because you can say this is a Buddhist philosophy, but it's not a Buddhist philosophy. It's the reality as a mission. So I'm putting emphasis, it's not a Buddhism, it's the reality nature. Where we are just understanding this reality nature, at the same time utilize them, put the practice meditation to purify all our mental delusions. Then you see we have a way how to perceive things, how to interact these things. That's where how to see things and then practice. So this way, today we prepare this practice that carry on for tomorrow, next week, next month, next year. You said that's where how we can progress, develop, get the benefit. Our life is transitory and fragile. It depends on just one short breath. Even though we have cultivated our mind to achieve enlightenment, we still have to live one day at a time. The time to practice is now. The past is gone. It's not here. The future is not here either. So this moment is all we have. But it is temporary and transitory. Seeing this reality, be aware of your mind at this very moment. This is called Dharma practice. See? So this way how to delete our fixated mind. Purify is called. Meditate on this. See this. This whole world is, you see, it's just a reflection. Like a mirage. See? We are working so hard to get something from this mirage of samsara. But at the end, we go with empty-handed. So instead, we put emphasis on the practice of loving kindness, compassion, wisdom. No. That which is within in the Buddha nature, just reveal. No. Let it grow, manifest through these practices. Even while in the samsara, there's a great joy. See? There's no fear. That's what we need. We need this. The instant negative thoughts arise in the mind, that's the time to practice the Dharma. So mindfulness, when there's negative thoughts manifest in the mind, just see that and practice the Dharma to purify. See, you sit still. You sit still in the virtuous thought, in the virtuous mind. in the mind when it is absence of any of the 10 non-virtues. That is called the virtuous thought or virtuous mind. It does not matter where we are, at home, at work, while driving, anywhere. If we practice this way, we will become happier people. Our mind will become clear, and we will live in peace and harmony. See, that's what it means. So practice joyfully. That's what is called Dharma practice. Then we will be very grateful to ourselves. I'm so happy I got this opportunity. There will be always some obstacles. There's some problems. No. But when we have this wisdom, we will get such a skill how to transform. How to maintain our mind in the peace. Not disturbed by these obstacles. With this kind of motivation, we are now ready to walk toward enlightenment. Not tomorrow, not next week, but right now. That is why this is called action bodhicitta. So we are putting action, see, in the practice. Gives us how to relax, how to maintain the peace. It is not a mysterious thing. It is very obvious, clear, precise. When we know how to do this, so that's what I said. Today we have how to live in happiness. Okay. Now we learn, isn't it? How to live in happiness. Are we ready? Now, have anybody has any special tip, comments, questions?
I do have a question.
Yes.
This morning you talked a lot, and I hear a lot of your teachings about when I understand about aversion and attachment, and I see in the word how when we feel aversion towards people, there's a prayer on how to help us navigate that, extend them loving kindness. Are there words around how to not cling? I mean, I'm not to say to love less, but to love, I mean, I'm a mother of teenagers, so I'm in that stage of trying to let them go and still, and how, is there language in a prayer that helps us love more loosely those things that we're so attached to?
Yeah.
That is similar to what allows us to pray to send peace and kindness.
Sure, that is the love loosely means love for everybody. So, well, not so pernicious. You know, pernicious? Who can help me? Pernicious. Oh?
Dangerous, it's pervading, isn't it? Pernicious? Yeah, it's like all damaging.
Oh?
Like a little damaging.
Damaging. Pernicious attachment. This kind has a little negative connotation, which brings the suffering. So out of desire for your own benefit and attached to something that becomes a cause of your suffering. It's called pernicious attachment. So, seeing that nature, then your love to all sentient beings, that's as you are saying, loosely attached. As this morning I mentioned, you see, generally in the samsara, not only human beings, even animals, even small insects, when the mother gives birth, as a small insect, she cares. She, even though herself is so innocent, she doesn't know, but in her best, she tries to protect, even risking her own life. Because of that, that offspring survives. This is just example. So that need to expand to all others. So that's your daughter represents all sentient beings. As your daughter needs attention, your attention, she needs your support. All sentient beings need that. See? So your mind extends to all the sentient beings. So that itself, the attachment itself is transformed from personal attachment to help all the sentient beings. This is called skillful means. Make sense? Yeah, I like that. See? Yes.
Just to kind of what she was asking, to maybe if you could say if this is a good way to think of things, like, if you're thinking of like all people or all beings as your like children, and even your own children, they all have their own like karma. And so like I feel sometimes, I can try to be guiding and have compassion, but that individual, that being is going to do what they're going to do, regardless of like my, compassion, or they're going to, because of their karmic causes and conditions, going to behave or are going to, have certain experiences. Is that okay to think about a good way to think about things, like kind of a way to be detached.
Detach?
Yeah, like.
Detached from what?
Well, just like individuals.
Detached from individual.
Yeah, that you can have compassion and show them kindness, but you shouldn't feel like hurt or you shouldn't have negative feelings if they're going to behave or do things that cause suffering. Yeah.
So detach is actually is, if we release our own attachment, see, usually for my own benefit, say I love you. Yes, I love you means that's related to the emotions, attachment, to satisfy my desire. So I love you. It's kind of love, but very limited, emotional, self-interested. You see. Now that, see, how much you want to fulfill your desire. So now look at all sentient beings. No, not just to your own, but that thought, that mind, kind of say, let it be to kind of giving to all the sentient beings. Everyone in the samsara or in the world desire for peace and happiness, you see. So from that, see, from this way of practice, we are releasing our attachment for our own. See, not being so selfish, rather that mind utilized for whole sentient beings. See, this is such kind of way of awakening. No. So you see, when Buddha enlightened Buddhahood, how much he achieved great joy, fearlessness. Now there's nothing to fear of anything. Such great peace that he achieved. Immense, inexpressible. So that kind of state Buddha experienced, that he realized everyone, everywhere are in that nature. Whether they know or don't know, but that's everyone is looking for. But they're missing that. So because from that, out of that great wisdom, and the compassion, as I mentioned, manifest and talk to all the sentient beings. So he's not attached to himself, his achievement. Instead, through these process steps, I experience this. So if you also want to achieve, this is the way how to do, showing the complete path to us. So he was sacrificing for us, without any kind of regard for himself, showing the path. That's what we follow, that path. how much we are so pernicious to our attachment and cause of suffering that we create. So look at that and dismantle that kind of cocoon, make a universal mind and practice. Then how much great peace we'll achieve, see. Yes, please.
If you have children, I have two of them, how much can you influence them? You know, so one child might be very listening to you and kind of respond to you, but the other child just kind of ignores you. You know, it's kind of like, you know, they're different people, of course. But how much can you influence the child, or how much do you let the child go that doesn't really listen to you? You know, is the child has its own karma? Or do you have any suggestions?
No, we don't say just karma. As I mentioned, sometimes karma becomes an excuse. You know, everything is impermanent, changeable. Nothing is permanent. It's just a matter of time. Some may take longer time than others, but everything is changeable. But anyhow, you try your best to help them, you see. And at the end, you have no regret, see. So now it is their choice if they want to accept your advice, your suggestions, or not. See. You show them you are a good example. No. And sometimes your actions are more productive than what you say. No. So as we were talking about walk your talk. So we have to make a little more walk.
We have another saying is, do as I tell you to do, not as I do.
Okay, yeah, that's good.
That's wiggling out of it.
Oh?
I said, that's wiggling out of it.
That's a good idea?
No, it's trying to get out from your responsibilities.
Oh, you get out of your responsibilities. Okay.
So do as I say, not as I do.
Because sometimes when you show your examples, then after some time, they remember you. Oh, he did this, he said this. That makes sense. Sometimes it takes time, especially takes time to awaken, to see that.
Yeah, just another comment. It's like one of them comes to us regularly and asks for advice.
Yeah.
When she's having a problem, it's always, hey, what do you guys think about this?
That's right.
The other one, when she's having a problem, she does not want to hear anything from us.
That's right.
Not offer any advice.
That will say, leave me alone. Yes. Then you say, okay, I will leave you alone. I wish you the best. Yes.
I sort of have a comment based on.
Yeah, go ahead. Yes. Yes.
When my daughter was old enough to start begin to make decisions on her own, and I just had one child, so I didn't have to, concentrate on anything but her. I would say to her, I'm going to tell you what I think you should do. And then I was also say to her, and of course this was based on her age, but she was capable of deciding for herself. Like, started around 8, she could decide what she wanted to wear, for instance. And I would say, but you need to think about what you're going to do. Because I am not the one who has to bear the burden of your decision. You are. She's 44 and she still lives by that. So, just a little bit to let your mind sit.
Very good. Today I have one suggestions for tomorrow. Do you have this book, anybody? Page 44, there's a short refuge prayer. What do you think if we go tomorrow on this subject? We say this prayer many occasions, if not on a daily basis. In the Buddha, the Dharma, Sangha, most excellent. I take refuge until enlightenment is achieved. But the practice of generosity and other good deeds may attain Buddhahood for the benefit of all sentient beings. Should we go through this tomorrow? Okay. Then we can discuss all the details from here, step by step, like today. But tomorrow there's also coming Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, and the 6 paramitas. We can discuss just briefly on this. So then we are touching in the program mentioned Diamond Rosary, so we touch on this subject.
We can do a handout of the prayer for you tomorrow, for those who don't have the book.
Yes, go ahead.
What is tomorrow's discussion?
Excuse me?
Tomorrow's discussion, what is that teaching?
Yeah, tomorrow we can discuss anything if you have any topics, if you choose.
There was something
written here, the how to live in the happiness.
That was called the Diamond Rosary.
Oh, that.
Say, this, yeah. On the base on this, then we can touch any subject. Like say, here we have, today we touch on this, the source of all happiness and joy for oneself and all sentient beings is loving kindness, compassion, and bodhicitta. This is the basic disposition of cause and result-dependent relations. So we so much touch on this subject. Now, tomorrow there is all phenomena are discursive thoughts, and discursive thoughts are solely mind. Mind as it is primordially unborn, like the sky free from boundaries and center. And so forth. So today all these discussions we went through, it makes sense? It makes sense that how to live in happiness? You got some glimpse of the idea?
When you talked about courage earlier, that you needed to apply courage to do this.
Yes.
I'm not exactly clear on that. Could you talk?
Courage?
Courage, yeah. Courage in what, I mean, why do you have to be courageous to do that?
Courage to cultivate bodhicitta. Sometimes you may think, maybe I'm going too far. You have little reservation, you know. I want to attain Buddhahood for the benefit of all sentient beings. This is maybe too much. You know? So, you have little fear to commit that, you see. So you need a courage, see. As a matter of fact, you need, it's called indomitable courage. Nobody can beat your courage. See, that's what I mean, courage. Now do you have the courage? That's wonderful, you know. Such a great thing, you see. When you know how to do this way, practice this way, nothing but peace, joy. You just gain. There's nothing to lose. So this we should do one at a time. Bodhisattva's path is so vast. As vast as this space. So we should do what we can. See, according to our own ability. Step by step. Like a kindergarten. Those child, they go to the kindergarten and they learn what they can. After that, then they follow to the elementary school. See? Then after that, they go to the high school. So like that, we also practice that way. Buddha first didn't teach, so everything's empty. No. It's a gradual path. See, Buddha didn't teach first. Buddha has this 10 strength, 4 fearlessness, all these things. But after gradual, step by step, the great Bodhisattvas, when they are ready to listen to this, then you Bodhisattvas, your achievement is not sufficient, not enough. They're farther to go. These qualities you need to achieve. Then Buddha taught all those steps, you see. So we should not overwhelmed. Instead, just feel privileged, feel fortunate, and follow the path. Say, I can do it. I can make it. Okay, now please take a deep breath. And exhale. And first just feel fortunate. Today I got this opportunity to reflect in the precious Dharma teaching, the wisdom of the Buddha. Today being here, it became a meaningful. I'm so glad that I got this time to participate. Then reflect all the discussions that we went through from this morning and this afternoon. This morning, the emphasis on the loving kindness, compassion, and aspiration bodhicitta. And this afternoon, how to practice the action bodhicitta. All this is just about the mind. How to purify all the mental poisons, that poison which is within us, that brings all the suffering, confusion, delusions. It's not exist outside. So we got a method how to purify them, how to eliminate them. That's why I'm so fortunate getting this method. Step by step, develop love and compassion, wisdom. Through this, all the delusions that I have, so I can purify them. So with these understandings, then please say some dedication prayers.
Start in your blue, in your blue book, on page 70. So let's see. 70. Yeah, 70. So actually, let's do as we usually do on our Sundays by starting on page 9 in our regular green book. Does everyone have that? If we do our regular prayers, page 9 and 10, 11, and then when it comes to 13, the dedication composed by Sundar, that's when we will switch just to the version that's on page 70. It's more complete. It's more full. So we'll do that. So let's start on page 9. Dorje, Lopa, Naropa, Marpa, Milarepa, Dharma, Lord Gampopa, Pagma, Drupa, and Lord Drigumpa.
Please bestow upon us the most auspicious blessings of all the Kagyu Lamas. By this virtue may I achieve omniscience, by defeating all enemies' wrongdoing. May all who travel on the waves of birth, old age, sickness, and death cross the ocean of samsara. Bodhicitta, the excellent and precious mind, where it is unborn, may it arise. Where it is born, may it not decline, but ever increase higher and higher. I pray that the Lama may have good health. I pray that the Lama may have long life. I pray that your Dharma activities spread far and wide, and I pray that I may not be separated from you. As Manjushri, the warrior, realized the ultimate state, and as did Samantabhadra, I will follow in their path and fully dedicate all the merit for all sentient beings. By the blessing of the Buddha who attained the three kayas, by the blessing of the truth of the unchanging Dharma as such, and by the blessing of the indivisible Sangha order, may the merit I share bear fruit. By the virtues collected in the three times, by myself and all beings in samsara and nirvana, and by innate root of virtue, may I and all sentient beings quickly attain unsurpassed, perfect, complete, and precious enlightenment. May the teachings of the great Drigungpa, Ratnashri, who is omniscient, Lord of the Dharma, Master of interdependence, continue and increase through study, practice, contemplation, and meditation until the end of samsara. And now on to the page 70. Glorious, holy, venerable, precious, kind Lama.
You want to say from this?
Yes, now page 70.
Oh, okay, good. Yes, go ahead.
Yes, it's okay.
Go ahead. Yes, now go ahead.
Okay. Glorious, holy, venerable, precious, kind root and lineage lamas, divine assembly of yidams and assemblies of Buddhas, bodhisattvas, viras and varinis, yoginis and dakinis, dwelling in the 10 directions. Please hear my prayer. By all the virtues collected in the three times, by myself and all in samsara and nirvana, and the innate root of virtue, not result in the 8 worldly concerns, the 4 causes of samsara, or ripen as the state of a Shravaka or a Pratyeka Buddha. May all mothers, sentient beings, especially those enemies who hate me and mine, obstructors who harm, Maras who mislead, and the hordes of demons, experience happiness, be separated from suffering, and swiftly attain unsurpassed, completely perfected, precious Buddhahood. By the power of this vast root of virtue, may I benefit all beings through my body, speech, and mind. May the afflictions of desire, hatred, ignorance, arrogance, and jealousy not arise in my mind. May concern about fame, reputation, wealth, and honor in this life not arise for even a moment. May my mind stream be moistened by loving kindness, compassion, and bodhicitta, and through that may I become a spiritual master with good qualities equal to the infinity of space. May I gain the supreme attainment of Mahamudra in this very life. At the time of death, may suffering of severing the life channel not arise. May I not die with negative thoughts. May I not die confused by wrong view. May I not experience an untimely death. May I die joyfully and happily in the great luminosity of the mind as such, and the pervading clarity of the Dharmata. May I, in any case, gain the supreme attainment of Mahamudra at the time of death or in the bardo. And now we will pick up on page 15
Page
in the 14 and 15 in the green.
15. Which 15 or 14?
We'll do 15 in
15.
English.
Okay, page 15.
For this realm
encircled by snow-covered mountains, you are the source of every benefit and bliss without exception.
Khenchen Gyaltsen, you who are one with Avalokiteshvara, may you remain steadfast until samsara's end. You are the embodiment of all the precious ones. You, a great being, are the holder and the promoter of the teachings of the Shakya lion. Your perfect actions are for the liberation of sentient beings. May you, the Gyaltsen Lama, whose enlightened activities are spontaneously present, live long. Precious holder of the triple gem of Drigongpa, who preserves the indisputable practice of the profound Dharma, who has realized the sublime truth which reveals peace and illumination, may you who relieve the suffering of limitless beings live long. The one known in the Holy Land is Arya Deva, emanated into the Gar clan of eastern Tibet as Chudingpa, the heart son of Jigten Gombo. May the life of the glorious Garchen remain steadfast for 100 eons. In this age of strife, when the victor's teaching faces hardship, through his powerful and Vajra-like conduct, he takes on himself the heavy responsibility of the unbiased teachings. May Garchen, the son of the teachings, live long. Your 1,000 arms are the 1,000 Chakravartin kings. Your 1,000 eyes are the 1,000 Buddhas of this fortunate era.
I prostrate to Venerable Cheresig, who shows whatever is needed
to subdue those to be subdued.
Om Mani Padme Hum. Om
Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme 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 Through this virtue, may I swiftly attain the state of Chenresik, and thus establish all sentient beings without exception in that glorious state of Chenresik.
Thank you, everyone. Yes, that's right. The key is here.
It's this, but it's different and not as long. I didn't notice that. Do you want to use the green tomorrow?